Hey there, everyone. Welcome to the Willow Show. This is your home for a wealth in health and sexual vitality. My name is Willow Brown. I'm a sexpert for the hormonally challenged. And today we are starting season 2 of the Willow Show, which is very exciting. So today we're diving into the importance of aligning your cycle with the moon cycle. So what does that mean for those of you who have a menstrual cycle? And what does that mean for those of you who don't have a menstrual cycle? Or for those of you who have a very irregular menstrual cycle? It means similar things and a little bit different things. So I'll go through all of it with you today. So for those of you who already have a menstrual cycle that's happening every 25 days, 28 days, 30 days, somewhere in that range, then you are going to want to listen to your own moon womb cycle. So you've got a moon womb cycle, or if you're no longer having a menstrual cycle, or you have kind of an erratic all over the place, maybe you're in perimenopause kind of cycle, then you're going to listen to the moon in the sky cycle, right? So we've got the moon in the womb, and then we've got the moon in the sky. So that's kind of the two different rhythms or cycles that you want to pay attention to. Now, if you're a man, you also have a moon cycle. If you're a child, you also have a moon cycle, because we are all made up of water, right? We're all about 85, 90% water, depending on how hydrated we are. And so, as we know, the moon pulls on the tides of the ocean, right? So it pulls on water. And since we are made up of so much water, it also pulls on the fluids inside of us. And when you're still in your fertility years and you're having a pretty regular menstrual cycle, then it strongly pulls on the fluids inside of your womb. Now, here's how you align your cycle with the 4 phases of the moon. There are 4 phases that we go through as human beings made up of water every single month. And the 4 phases also relate to the seasons. So it's very interesting. When we are having the new moon, then that's phase 1, new moon phase. And that's the season of winter, right? It's the dark moon. It's the time when things are quiet, more introspective, less running around, less to-do stuff. Then when we move into that waxing moon, where the moon is starting to get bigger, going from the new moon toward the full moon, during that phase, that relates to the spring season. So that's a time where it's like good to start planting some seeds, getting some ideas going. What is it that you want to see fruit in the fall and late summer? So those are the times to kind of think about, what am I seeding for my next cycle that I go through? After we go through the spring phase, of course, we go into summer phase. And summer is such a great phase. It's the most expressive. It's very creative, high time for working on creativity projects, getting home improvements done, getting, school projects and work projects all happening that week, really focusing in on productivity during that summer phase. And while doing that, also paying attention to where in your life and in your body and in your process do you feel fulfilled? Where do you feel like content and fulfilled and like, ooh, that was perfect, I did a good job, versus where do you feel too full, right? Summer is that fullness phase. So where are you fulfilled versus where are you feeling too full, maxed out, overwhelmed, stressed out? After summer, of course, we move into the fall phase of the moon cycle. And this is actually my favorite phase. And I think it's the most important phase, is the fall phase, because it is the time of clearing out, right? It's the time of things falling away. It's the time of death. It's the It's the death phase of our, every month we go through this. Every month we go through this fall season. And in our Western society, we really don't value this death phase very well. We don't really value releasing and letting go, right? We value productivity. We value that summer phase. But if we don't do the clearing and we don't create some space inside of ourselves, inside of our lives, then it's very difficult for the spring and the summer to do what they need to do in your life. It's difficult to plant seeds if you haven't tilled the soil, right? It's difficult to fruit and grow things and harvest in late summer and fall if you didn't have good soil to begin with. So fall phase is all about what can you let go of in your life. It could be anything from clothes in your closet, old panties that you don't need anymore, that don't make you feel sexy, get rid of those. It could be foods in your cupboard. It could be old food in the fridge. It could be thoughts. It could be beliefs about who you are, or about who your partner is, who you're in an intimate relationship with, about who your children are, who your intimate relationships are. So letting go of beliefs, limiting beliefs, or patterns in your life that are no longer serving you, this is the time to do it during the fall phase, which is going to be the waning moon, the week right before the new moon, right? And then we go right back into the new moon, which is the winter phase again. So for those of you who do have a regular menstrual cycle, you are going to want to follow your womb cycle, your womb moon cycle. And so instead of following the moon in the sky, which I pretty much just described for those of you not having a cycle, you are going to actually follow the menstrual cycle, the menstrual blood flow. And so every time that you start your period, on day one of your period, that's like the dark moon. That's the time of the new moon. That's the time of winter, time of introspection, taking a break, taking some to-do things off of your list, and just actually resting more. Maybe meditating more, maybe listening to some guided meditations, just nourishing yourself more. And then from that phase, after you come out of that phase of that recalibration, that winter phase, that hibernation time that's so valuable and so vital, and also very undervalued by our society, right? When you come out of that, then spring has a whole new energy to it, right? It's not like you had to push your way through that winter phase, and then spring you're exhausted and you're like, how am I going to plant my seeds? I didn't clear my soil, And so then when you move into that spring, when you get that good rest in winter, you move into spring, and it's like, woo, all kinds of flowers are going to be in bloom, and things in your life are going to just kind of magically start to be created. Your creative juices are really going to start to flow and happen at this spring phase. And as you move into summer, they'll continue to grow and to get full and to blossom forth into these beautiful roses that you had all this time and energy to plant. So then during that full moon, that's right during your ovulation. So, you think about the full moon is big in the sky, and you can think about your ovum inside of your body, inside of your reproductive area, is also big and full, and it's about to pop an egg out, right? So that's that fullness phase, that summer phase, full moon, ovulation. Then after ovulation comes the fall season once again. And so again, taking some time to clear, to let go, do some journaling, say no to some projects, say no to some people who want you to hang out with them, or just start saying no to others so that you can say yes to yourself. And then from there, you have really set yourself up for a beautiful next menstrual flow. And for those of you who suffer from PMS or from cramps, breast tenderness, low back pain, bloating, all of that kind of like fullness that the body gets, you'll probably notice over the next several months and paying attention to this that that when you take that fall phase to actually clear out, let go of the things that are no longer needed or serving you in your life, consciously clearing, then your winter phase, your time of your moon cycle, is going to be so much easier. It's going to be less painful, less bloated, less emotional, and you're just going to feel so much more rest, deep rest in your body, which your body really needs because it's losing so many vital nutrients during your menstrual flow. So if you have any questions at all about anything that I just briefly described to you, then just shoot me an email. I would love to hear from you.